And we are officially live. Welcome to another episode of the Uncensored Entrepreneurs. Are you ready to reclaim your health and vitality? I know that I am. And today's special guest, Christine Lunceford, she's going to show us that through her signature Empower You holistic strategy, it has not only transformed her life, but she can do the same exact thing for you. So if you're looking to discover a simple, proven method to nurture your mind, body, and spirit, this episode is for you. Plus, you'll be able to hear so much more about Christine's journey and her service to others. So stay tuned. We'll see you on the inside.
I like our new music.
Yeah,
I know, right? It's really starting to come together there. It's kind of catchy as well.
Listen, if you're not following Uncensored Entrepreneurs, you need to follow us. Go to uncensoredentrepreneurs.com and follow us. But in the next couple of weeks, in the next couple of months, Uncensored Entrepreneurs is leveling up. Let me just tell you.
We
the things
are.
that we got going on the back end. I am so excited. And I'm so excited that this chick is on today, Christine. Lunceford is in the house. You know what? I just noticed it is February 27th. And 17 years ago today, I am cancer free. Like I had ovarian cancer and had everything taken out. And I just noticed that February 27th was the day.
That is awesome.
What we're talking about? Well,
I was going to say, what a perfect alignment. The fact that we're talking about wellness and recovery and all the things that we should be doing, right?
Right.
And so, congratulations, Tina. That's fantastic, actually.
And it's kind of crazy, but it is so important for entrepreneurs, especially because we tend to not take care of ourselves the way we're supposed to for some reason. And like, we're not working a 9-to-5 job. We're getting up at 6 o'clock in the morning. We're starting work early. We wake, not every day, but some days we do wake up early, work late, work on Saturdays, work on Sundays. And we tend to not take care of ourselves and not eat correctly and not do things right. And even when we're traveling and we're speaking, and I know, Robert, you and I have spoke all around the world, and Starry, the same with you. Like, when you're out there speaking, it's like you're like rushing, grabbing a muffin or grabbing a donut and grabbing coffee, and you're like living off of coffee. And then you come home and you're like, I wonder why I'm so sick.
And typically bad food. I mean, I hate saying it. I try to find, the healthier options, but it doesn't always work out that way when you're traveling.
Yeah. Were you with me when we all went to Vegas and it was like 200 of us in the room and like 50 of us came home and we had the sea?
I did not on that one.
Yeah, I came home and I was like, I started getting sick on the airplane. I was like sweating profusely, and I'm like,
San Diego gave us some of that.
The San Diego trip.
Yeah, that's
right. And I put on Facebook or whatever that I came home sick, and everybody's like, oh my gosh, me too. But it was before the sea came out, and it was like a month or two before. And no, you know what? It was Vegas. It wasn't San Diego.
Okay.
And it was like a month or two before, like, it all came out. And I think we all had it.
Probably had that. Yeah.
Right? And I think we all gave it to everybody as we were flying.
Yeah, absolutely. So, since we're on that topic, what a perfect segue in the fact that, Christine, it's a pleasure to have you on the show. I can't wait to hear more about your journey and all that you're doing to serve others. But I really want to learn some of these things because, I always use this analogy that a mechanic, auto mechanic drives a car around that's held together with duct tape, right? And so we as coaches and entrepreneurs, although most of us are truly aligned in mindset and heart and everything that we're supposed to be doing, and we help others do the same thing, we don't always reflect that back on ourselves, right? So it's really important, as you said earlier, Tina, to take the time to really just make sure that we ourselves, that we're applying those same skill sets and the mindset that we share with others to ourselves. And so holistically speaking, Christine, I'm very excited. I look forward to it. If you don't mind, we could just kind of open up with your little introduction, just your journey and kind of what has brought you to the stage today.
Tell us who you are.
Well, I am Christine Lunceford, and I have been on a wellness journey pretty much my entire life. But Robert, it's kind of funny that you say car, because I tell people all the time, if God's going to hand you your favorite car, Maserati, Rolls Royce, are you going to treat it like crap?
Very good.
That's exactly what we do to our bodies.
Yes.
Because I'm a freaking Maserati, baby.
Okay, so I looked it up once, and I think it was a Rolls Royce that was the most expensive car. It was like $30 million. And I'm like, if God's going to hand you something and you take care of it, it'll last you forever.
Yeah.
Are you going to park it out in the yard and not change the oil and not let it rust and not change the tires? Well, I'm just as guilty. I was at a conference this past weekend,
Right.
and got myself tired and was doing a detox before I left and came back sick. So my voice is cracking. I sound like I'm going through puberty. I promise you I'm not. They're done that long time ago. But yeah, 2016 was one of the best years of my life. Everything was going well. Finances were good. I married the love of my life. And a month after I married him, I ended up in the emergency room. I was the epitome. Everybody that I worked with went, "You're the healthiest person we know. You do all the right things." And I said, "I try. So what's going on?" And through the course of several months, all I kept hearing was, "You're getting older.
It's normal.
Yeah, you're in normal range, or we'll monitor it." Which, by the way, means we're going to wait till you're broke. That's exactly what that means. And my real pivot was when I went to the neurologist to figure out my tremors. My dad had had tremors my entire life. They never diagnosed him. And they had at one point told him, "Well, if we'd caught it sooner, we could have put a defibrillator in your brain." And I went, "A what?" "I don't think so."
In my brain?
In your brain.
That sounds riskier than just running with it.
You're like, "No, thank you."
So I was diagnosed with essential tremors. And I went, "Okay, why?" "Why?" "Well, because you have tremors and your dad has tremors."
Right. And that's typically why the first thing they do is they start out with that. Tell us about your medical history and what your family also has, right? So, yeah.
And that way they can go immediately to your medical history instead of trying to diagnose you.
And that is if they look at your medical history.
True.
Big if on that. Whole nother rabbit hole I could go down with that one. So I looked at him and said, "What can I do?" And he said, "Nothing. Wait until you can't function in daily life and I'll give you a pill."
And your 2 words were?
Wrong answer.
I thought of a couple other 2 words, but we'll stick with that one.
And I actually think I said that to him. I'm like, wrong answer. I got to my car. And here's where my heart comes into this. I was sitting in that car crying so hard that I couldn't talk. And I called my husband, and bless his heart, he was 3 hours away from me. And he said, "Honey, what did he tell you didn't already know?" And I went, nothing. And he goes, "Come home and figure it out." So from that moment on, every time that I would go to a doctor and they would try to brush me off, or "You're in normal range," or "You're just getting older," I started looking at him and go, "No, that's the wrong answer." And I kept digging.
Hence her book title.
Hence her book title.
Wow. That is so true. You know, I just heard a story not too long ago. I hear this often, but I mean, it was really fresh within even my own family that, in just the last few weeks when they try to push immediately all these things on you when you're experiencing cancer. And it's usually those that say wrong answer, or let's dig deeper, or let's find another solution, or that some type of pushback that leads them into something that actually like heals them, right? It brings them, real comfort and transformation versus just, this is the way it is. It's the only way it is. And I'm sorry,
Oh, yeah. And I believe everybody has the right to choose.
Mm-hmm.
And I believe everybody has the right to all the information. I had already told my husband, I said, if I ever get diagnosed with cancer, I'm going to tell you right now, I'm not doing chemo. And please don't hear what I'm not saying. If you are out there doing chemo, please do what you believe is best for you.
Yeah.
And for me, I went, I'm not going to take myself to death and hope that I can bring myself back.
Yeah.
Mm.
That is basically what you're doing.
That's basically what you're doing. Now, also don't hear what I'm not saying. I will fight tooth and nail and look for every other option.
Every option. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So Christine, so after you heard all these things from all these doctors, what did you start doing? What was your first thing that you started doing besides the research and stuff like that?
Asking the right questions. So I started asking, like my chiropractor was one pivotal person, and he said, I'm thinking your tremors might be cerebellum based. He goes, I don't know that. I don't know that for a fact. I still don't know that for a fact.
Mm-hmm.
And he directed me to a book. I started reading it and I went, oh, this makes sense. Years ago, my sister and I had started looking at Eat Right for Your Blood Type.
Right.
I pulled that book out. I pulled this book out and I went, look, these two match. And I went, I wonder if. So I'm type O blood. Type O blood should not have wheat. Oh, look at that. We're a room full of type O.
Oh, I think I just had wheat about 15 minutes ago. So, okay. Thank you.
So this right here, like when she was telling me, I said, wait, what?
I'm leaning in. I am leaning in because
like you can eat depending on your blood type and what your blood needs. So not your body type, not you being female or male, not anything like that. Your blood type.
Yeah. Interesting.
So one thing I learned is that type O blood tends to be very acidic.
Yeah.
Yes.
It is. Mine is.
Yes. So generally speaking, our blood type is the one that can eat beef. That's why a lot of other people can't eat beef.
Make me want a steak right now.
Oh, I'm having steak for dinner.
I'm saying.
So I leaned in and I went, okay. Now, a lot of people will go out and, they'll get stuck with 40 shots for testing allergies.
Yeah.
If you want to do it, by all means, go do it. But there is a much simpler, much less painful way to do it. I simply quit eating wheat. And I got very specific. Like I looked at the ingredient list. If it said wheat anywhere in it, I didn't eat it.
Wow.
Like
all the good stuff, bagels,
yeah.
bread.
This is wild that we're talking about this. And by the way, if you saw Kelly pop up there, that's my wife, Christine. And so when she says she loves this topic, because we've really in these last couple of years have taken much more of a holistic approach. We're always looking at better ways to just eat healthier, things to do with our body, deficiencies. And we're both O positive. So when you mentioned that, and one of the things,
give me blood if I need it.
Yeah. But one of the things we noticed quite a few years ago is if we ate it like Subway, right? That's supposed to be your alternative, like healthy choice when you're on the run.
He says
right?
we're not going to be able to eat anything else.
Right. She says we won't be able to eat anything now. Right. So, but the thing is that we noticed that every single time we would stop through any kind of a sub place and eat, we would both not feel well afterwards. And we always just assumed it was like, the meat, and I'm sure it is some of that. But a lot of things from what I'm reading links back to the bread, the way that they actually make the bread.
And it affects your brain. So many people think that gluten intolerance is, and it can be, gut related.
Yeah.
Which, by the way, your gut and your brain are related anyway.
Mm-hmm.
And I had no gut issues. So basically you give up the food for 30 to 45 days. Gluten is a little bit harder because it's sticky and it stays in your system longer. And then you intentionally eat it. So when I did dairy, I quit eating dairy for 30 days. I ate dairy. Within 20 minutes, I had a sinus headache and my nose was running. I've completely eliminated all of my seasonal allergies.
Wow.
By not eating dairy.
Do you eat?
I've heard
That is a game changer. So you're living on air and ice cubes.
Steak, vegetables,
Yeah.
sweet potatoes.
Yeah.
And it's a shift.
Mhm.
And I try to teach people add things. Don't think of it as subtraction. So when you go in, you look at the things that are good for you. And if you're not eating them, you add them. Because if you add beneficial foods, you don't miss the things that you're not eating.
Yeah.
And here's the thing. If you decide that the pain of what you're eating is worth it,
Mhm.
then eat it. But no.
Wait, is there a wheat-free bread that's good?
There
Like
is.
what kind of there is?
There is.
I know sourdough bread is like one of the best breads to
Okay,
eat.
so here's an interesting thing, and I have not tested this yet. However, I have a friend whose brother is celiac. So when you say intolerance, that's beyond intolerance, that's an allergy, that's severe.
Yeah.
She orders wheat from Europe and he has zero reaction.
Wow.
Yes. So there you go. Actually, all right, this is going to be really wild. I'm throwing it out there because you brought it up. So Kelly and I, we travel a great deal, right? All around the world. And when we travel to other countries, certain produce even that she eats, she's not allergic to, but certain things that she eats here in the United States, due to the pesticides, she is allergic to, right? She immediately has reactions. And so you're absolutely right. There's this huge connection with the way that we produce and the way that we protect our food, preserve our food, all those things. And so you've just opened up a huge...
Well, we could go down that rabbit hole just a little bit. So the way that they harvest wheat, quinoa, flax, a lot of those, is they spray the entire field with Roundup. And they do that because then it kills the entire field all at the same time so that their yield is higher. So when you're looking for those things, look for ones that are organic. And I still don't 100% believe that all the things that say are organic are organic.
I understand.
However, it is an improvement. Yeah. So when I tested my wheat, my sister coined it food drunk because I intentionally ate zucchini bread. Within 15 minutes, I knew exactly what wheat was doing to me. It was affecting my eyesight. It was affecting my speech. It was affecting my gait. You know, when you have that glass of wine and you push just where you feel a little bit tipsy.
Yes.
That's what it did to me. Except then 6 hours later, my joints hurt so bad.
It's like, count me in. I want more wine.
Yeah, I'll stick with the wine. Okay, that is another thing. I'm like, oh my gosh, I used to drink whiskey. Love whiskey.
Yes.
What?
I love whiskey.
Now that I'm surprised about that you're a whiskey drinker.
I'm taking notes. I'm taking notes.
I can't drink it anymore because whiskey has gluten in it.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. That's true. That's true. Yeah, absolutely.
I'm like, no.
So what about these habits, Christine? Like these learned behaviors? For me, sugar has been something that I reward myself with when I have success and wins. I celebrate with sugar. And when I'm stressed out or struggling, I also fuel myself with bread, sugar. It's like, okay,
bread and pasta.
And I literally feel immediately better in that moment.
It's a short-term satisfaction, right?
Full disclosure, I'm addicted to sugar also. I do very well. And like I said, when I said, know what it causes. So for me, if I eat sugar, I get hot flashes. If I don't eat sugar, I don't get hot flashes.
What?
So I have shifted.
Tina took
notes. So yes, all of you people, all of you ladies out there in menopause, don't shoot me hate mail because I just hope you couldn't have chocolate.
But dark chocolate is good for you, though,
actually,
right?
Dark chocolate is very good for you.
That is actually my favorite.
In small quantities.
Yeah.
But I shifted mine and I eat dark cherries, frozen dark cherries, and blueberries in the evening when I'm craving something sweet. I rinse them till they're still pretty frozen, but soft enough that I can eat them without my teeth hurting. And those two are both very beneficial for type O blood. So it's a replace. You take what is making you feel awful and replace it with something that makes you feel good, that you enjoy. Don't replace it with something that you hate. That kind of defeats the purpose.
Right. Where you have to eat it like this.
Yeah.
So someone had mentioned earlier, and I think what they were asking was, how can they find out based on their blood type? How can they find out what some of these connections are? The things they should or shouldn't have based on their blood type.
I do have resources on my website, which is simply ChristineLunceford.com. There's resources on there. They can go to my link tree. They can reach out to me directly. And honestly, that information is not my information. That is information that came from a book that I read that is Eat Right for Your Blood Type. And
some of this is inside the Wrong Answer book as well.
Yes. And I can support with, the coaching beyond that, because sometimes when you open that book, I'll be honest, you start reading it and you're like, oh, forget it. And you're going to set it aside because it is very deep.
Yeah. Well, absolutely. Well, I love the fact that you're able, through your experience, to break that down. And that's what we talk about a great deal on this show when it comes to coaching, is the fact that rather than you spending years to learn something, then, seek those that have actually already, led before. And so they've already been there. And so, for those that are just listening in and they don't actually see it visually, Linktree/Christine Lunceford, and that's just Christine with an E on the end, LUNCEFORD. So you can find all of our resources there. And Christine, you also mentioned a website. Is it ChristineLunceford.com?
Yes.
Okay. So that's a good place to start. You can also find her all across social media, of course. All right. So continuing down this path, you've been on this journey. You were able to gather a ton of resources along the way. You yourself started to have this transformation. Tell us a little bit about that, like that pivotal point of who you once were and what this has transformed you into now.
The pivotal point was when I went to a naturopath and had a hair analysis done.
Oh.
Okay, a lot of people don't know that that's an option. So I look at it as kind of paired. When you have your blood work, your blood work tells you what's in your blood. My blood work was normal.
Yeah.
And when my hair analysis came back, my
normal for your age, normal for who? Yeah. No.
Yeah. Okay. We could go. Yeah. Normal. I do that in quotes because normal, unfortunately, is based on sick people, not healthy people. And you can look that up. There's a different chart for optimal as opposed to sick.
Yes.
But I had the hair analysis done and my naturopath looked at me, picked up the report and said, "This is bad." And I said, "Okay." And he leaned in and he said, "No, you need to hear me. Your organs are shutting down." And I was like, "Oh.
Like, this is serious."
It's serious. It took me, I was so broken at that point
that
it took me 3 weeks of rereading the report to even remotely comprehend what was going on. And I mean, you're talking about, the annoying person in high school that got over a 4.0, National Honor Society, was the brainiac that passed all the tests no matter what. I couldn't comprehend normal language. I couldn't hold a normal conversation. I had memory issues that I couldn't remember conversations in the middle of the conversation. Well, turned out I had toxic levels of aluminum, which
I was thinking that the whole time you're describing that. Okay. So toxic levels of aluminum.
And the naturopath took me through 18 months of heavy metal detox. And I want to say this, and I want everybody to hear me very, very clearly. Detoxing is a buzzword right now.
Yeah.
Please, please do not go down that rabbit hole. If you think that you have heavy metal detox or heavy metal toxicity, find out for sure, get support, because, and it doesn't necessarily have to be a doctor. but get with somebody who knows what they're doing, because if you do it too fast, you can damage your organs. When I was doing mine, I became very, very in tune. And there were days that I had to stop doing it. And there were days that I had to stop and rest. And right now I'm coaching my sister through it because her and her husband are doing the aluminum detox. So
there's a lot of things that have aluminum in them, and a lot of makeup and deodorants and all the things.
Yeah, the deodorant is a big deal, and a lot of shampoos, just everyday cosmetic type things that we use.
It's in. They added it in baking soda.
Oh,
okay. It's baking soda or baking powder. I can't remember.
Okay.
The two. If you look at the package, I'm like, why are you adding aluminum into that? Yeah. That's just dumb. There are options that are aluminum free, just so you know. So just look at the label.
Yes. I never really used to pay attention to labels. I mean, Kelly, she's definitely the one that has pushed me into that, more of a being more aware of what's happening. I mean, even our deodorant, like that was a big switch right away.
And even just switching your deodorant, that's a big thing too, because
it's huge.
You have to go through like a couple of weeks of smelling pretty.
Yeah, we don't have time to talk about that transformation. Yeah, we've had to try some different ones along the way because the charcoal that would actually rip my skin off wasn't working quite well.
No, and you detox from it. Yeah. So, I mean, your body naturally detoxes. Yeah. So. Wow. When your body is working properly,
Kelly ran to the pantry and goes,
yes. I know a couple apps out there that work great for scanning QR codes. Yes. The one that I use is FIG, F-I-G, and I've talked to the founder a couple times, and they're working really hard to get things aligned and transparency, natural flavoring. What does that mean?
Yeah.
And I actually just saw a clip from Robert Kennedy or whatever his name is, and he said the same thing. And I was like, really?
Yeah. I mean, really, FDA has been able to, hide terminologies and, very simplistic, comforting terminology. And we have no idea what's in half of the foods, even when it comes to like preservatives, right?
So many things are allowed here in the United States that are not allowed in other countries.
Right.
Absolutely.
Like, all these like cereals, like Fruit Loops and all that kind of stuff, or they're not even allowed over there. I'm like,
what'd you say, Star? You mentioned one thing. What was it?
The food coloring and a lot of the products in the US, they're not allowed, like Tina was saying, in the other countries. So the
red. I know that red is like a really, big one to avoid as well. Yeah. So, wow.
It feels very overwhelming at times. Yeah. And here's the thing. Don't let it overwhelm you. Don't let it scare you. Don't let it freak you out. Just baby steps.
What would be the first thing that you would tell somebody to start letting go of?
I think the first thing is self-beat up. Let it go.
Love it.
Because here's the thing. You don't know what you don't know.
Yeah.
And beating yourself up over it isn't going to change anything. And it is going to affect your health.
So, I was just going to say, it's a compound effect for sure. Yeah.
Absolutely. So that to me would be step one. Step two is start paying attention. A very simple.
How you feel afterwards.
Yeah. It's a very simple thing. Grab a journal. Literally grab a journal. And people laugh at me when I say this, but especially ladies, and I think men experience this too, but I can't say because I'm not one. Pay attention to the moon phases.
Interesting. Well, I mean, I've heard that a great deal in general.
Like my sister gets vertigo really bad if it aligns with her monthly cycle and the moon.
Interesting.
If those two things sync up, she knows she's going to have migraines and feel like crap. So it's very interesting because her and I, if we're having an off day or we're having a bad day, one or the other of us will go, is it a full moon? And 99% of the time we'll go look and went, ding, ding, ding.
Yeah, interesting. And you know, and I think all of that though leads into self-awareness, not just in the products that we're talking about, our own individual experiences, what our body is telling us, right? Like listen to our body. And like you said, the weather affects a great deal of these things for sure. I mean, I'm very prone to migraines, not as much since I had some surgery sinus wise, but without a doubt, when you talk about moon cycles and everything, it had a huge impact on my migraines at one point in time.
Okay, Robert, I'm going to ask you a question. Do you eat dairy?
Not much. Well, let me change that. I consume no milk in its.
Okay. In I don't drink milk either.
We don't drink milk. And that in itself has changed everything to do with my joint pain and everything I had years ago. But refined, so like or cultured, so yogurts and from time to time, and cheeses. Cheese is still a weakness of mine.
Oh, cheese is
so
my biggest weakness.
Are you up for a challenge?
Woo, Robert.
All right, let's do it. Kelly,
like,
Kelly, can you log off? Can you
Kelly,
log off?
Kelly, do not log off, Kelly. He is about to say yes.
I want you to quit eating dairy, all dairy, for 30 days.
Cheese, even?
Cheese, everything. If it has dairy in it, don't eat it for 30 days.
Well, you already killed me with the wheat thing, so that means no pizza. No pizza altogether. So okay, that's
I know that sucks. I'm just saying.
You can get cauliflower pizza.
So
yeah, that's true.
No dairy for 30 days, and then see how your migraines are.
I'm here for accountability.
60% of my migraines went away when I gave up dairy.
Oh,
I'm waiting for my prescription from you.
Okay, so I'm going to do that. She obviously did not.
Dairy free
there.
for 30 days.
Okay.
She's already counting me out.
Done for.
Okay, so what is your favorite? What is your favorite thing that contains dairy? What is your absolute favorite?
Oh my goodness. Without a doubt, and I really don't often, but my weakness is, I mean, pizza. Of course. So we've got two bad things that we know already right there. The other thing though is I'm not a big sweet person other than ice cream. Like ice cream.
Okay, so after the 30 days, you get to go out and get your favorite ice cream. Try to pick one that has the fewest ingredients, and you get to eat a great big bowl of ice cream.
And then feel horrible afterwards.
And you get to pay attention to how you feel. Because
this is after the 30 days.
After the 30 days. Here's what you want to do. You want to empty your bucket. So your body has all these buckets. So you want to completely empty the bucket. So if you feel no change on that first day,
I'm laughing. I'm laughing because I just messaged Kelly maybe like 2.5 hours ago, and I just bought ice cream today for me and the girls. So anyway, okay, all
right. That's what you get to do, because what you want to do is empty that bucket. And once that bucket is empty, you want to put like the purest form that you can in. Yeah. Like you don't want to have pizza because you don't know if it's the crust or if it's, the pepperoni or whatever else is on there.
Yeah. So
you want to eat something that is as close to pure milk without just drinking milk, because
yeah,
so eat ice cream. That is your reward. And then you get to pay attention to how you feel. And here's the thing.
And then run to the bathroom. Yeah.
You will know exactly if you eat. It took me almost 2 years to quit eating dairy completely.
Wow.
Because I knew how much pain I was going to be in. I knew I was going to have a sinus headache. I knew I would probably end up with a migraine.
Anna's been there through this whole thing. She's like, do it. She also says that her headaches went away as well when she did that. Yeah.
And she also said that cheese was hard to let go over when she gave it up. So, but her headaches did go away. Okay, Robert.
All right. You know what? I know I need to. I mean,
well, it's not something you need to do.
Yeah.
It's not. It is something that you get to do, and it's something you get to try.
Choice, yes.
It's a choice. And then you get to choose if you're going to put it in your body later. Do I eat ice cream sometimes? Yes, because I found a place here locally that makes it from scratch. It has 3 ingredients, and he uses cream, not milk.
I was gonna say Tyla,
and
one of my besties makes her. She has a Ninja Creamy, I think it's called, and she makes her own ice cream because she's celiac.
Yeah.
And in order for her and her
now that is true. There's so many other options, right? There's a ton of. I even shared something with Kelly the other day where people that are addicted to, well, we up north call it pop. Down here in the south, it's called Coke or or soda. But where with really just some fig and carbonated water and a couple elements like natural, you actually get that same fix, right? So there's always going to be, like you said, a healthier option. And so starting tomorrow,
you see what he said? Tomorrow,
I will have no dairy.
Ice cream that he
I will have no
ordered.
dairy. I'm going to eat this ice cream with the girls today, and then I will. That's it. So Kelly will check back in with you on this one. Okay. All right. Good.
You see what Christine's doing? She's writing it down.
I wrote it down.
Yes.
She's writing it down because that's what she does to me. She's writing it down so she can keep you accountable.
Okay. All right.
Okay,
all right.
Christine, I have a
like
question about milk. So Tony drinks milk. He loves whole milk.
Okay.
And I'm like, ugh. I haven't drank milk in years and years and years.
Yeah.
What can I switch him from whole milk to whatever?
What is his blood type?
You know what? I don't even think he knows. I think we literally had this conversation.
Okay, because there's certain blood types that dairy doesn't bother them.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
So
okay.
that would be something to check into. And there is A2 milk.
Oh,
the casein in it is different. It's a different protein.
Okay.
So again, for Tony, do the same thing. Say, hey, will you give it up for 30 days? Drink it. Okay, if he won't do 30 days, see if he'll do it for 2 weeks.
Let's see if he's watching.
If you're watching, give up dairy for 2 weeks and then intentionally drink it and pay attention
to how he feels. Okay.
How he feels. And not just physically, emotionally, mentally, all of it. All of it is connected.
Okay.
I mean, even spiritually, because there's times you pick something up and you're like, Holy Spirit's going, you shouldn't put that in your body.
Yeah.
We don't always listen.
The Holy Spirit, eat it to me.
Yeah. Wow, that is so true. I mean, I love every single thing that you're, the entire aspect. And obviously in just one show, we don't have the opportunity to teach everyone everything, right?
No.
This is a journey. This is a journey of life. And I love that you brought up the fact, Christine, that it's baby steps. It's being aware, creating awareness first, and then slowly starting to listen to your body and to implement these things. I think that just like with any type of thing, like a New Year's, resolution, or any type of a weight loss system that people implement, they tend to go all in, and they're like, I'm throwing everything out of the cupboard. It's all going in the trash.
They binge eat everything.
Yeah, and then a month later, though, they're back to those habits, right? And so it's really about understanding what your patterns are, how to break those patterns, looking at other sources. And when you tied in blood type, oh my goodness, like I hope everyone that's listening live and everyone that's listening later on any type of recordings, please tune in and look some of the stuff up. So Christine Lunceford, Linktree has a lot of valuable information. I saw we can download some guides for free and some other things. They can connect with you to basically have a coaching session as well. A little bit of a discovery call, learn a little bit more about that. I could definitely say that the three of us, without a doubt, are going to be doing that.
I think I'm going to do the week. I'm going to do the bread thing.
Okay. All right. Well, I'm doing no dairy starting tomorrow. We know that.
Okay. Well, Star, what are you going to do, babe?
I don't want to cut it.
Oh, wait, we haven't heard.
Next week on Uncensored.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, we haven't heard yet. So Star, what blood type? Let Christine know what blood type.
Yeah, O negative. We talked about it. We're all.
Oh, you did. Oh, negative. That's right. Okay. Yep. Okay. All right.
So I guess I can have beef, but I don't know.
Oh yeah, don't give up beef. That's a good thing for us.
You know, in July, I'm on the East Coast. I'm supposed to be in California in July, and so Star and I at least know that when we meet up live, we can at least have a steak dinner. So we'll start there.
With Star, no bread and no cheese,
no dairy, no ice cream.
Yeah. There's really 3 things that I've done that have totally changed everything. And I did not do these all at the same time. So I don't want somebody to try to, like you said, New Year's resolution, jump in and freak out. Was the hair analysis. That was huge. Knowing my numbers, I've actually done 6 different ones, and I'm going to do another one this year. I did specific DNA testing. I'm not talking the genetics that tell me what nationality I am, because I don't care. I did 6 different ones of those.
Can you help people? Can you guide them to these sources or where they can go?
I can guide them to the sources. I am not a doctor. I'm not claiming to be a doctor.
Awesome.
But if they are interested in any of those, I have my naturopath that I can connect them with. He does virtual appointments. I am in contact with the lab that has done my hair analysis, and I can send out all the people who do it in the individual states. I don't know them, so I'm just giving you their information. And then I can coach you through afterwards, because here's the thing, having the information is great, but if you don't do something with it, it really is kind of pointless.
Just like with anything. Yes.
Just like with anything. I mean, I go back and look at mine, my neurological psych, when it came back, my naturopath looked at me and he said, honey, if I didn't know you, I would highly suspect that you were suicidal and severely depressed, because I have so many genes that are broken that, I mean, it says in there, depressed. I was like, huh.
Wow.
And you know why I'm not? I choose not to be.
Oh, wow. Isn't that amazing? That in itself, when we talk a great deal about mindset and reprogramming, the fact that you neurologically have the ability to battle what all odds of science tell us, right? So it's like in regards to that, not all things, of course, but when it comes to making a choice, that it's a powerful thing. Now, obviously, it sometimes is an uphill battle. But
some days it is an uphill battle. It was an uphill battle for me this morning. It's been an uphill battle for the last couple of days, because when I don't feel good, my brain wants to go into that. And sometimes it's minute by minute, I have to go, no, and no. And please, if you're fighting depression, I'm not trying to make this sound simple. It's not.
No. Don't get off medication and
don't do anything crazy. That's not what I'm saying. Bipolar runs in my family. And so I'm aware of the mental things that happen. And I'm also aware that sometimes it is very, very hard to choose. And feeling good makes the choices easier.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, yeah, it's the path of least resistance, and like you said, it's instant gratification. Short term.
Yes.
We were just talking about this, and I believe it's all connected when you think of mindset. But Kelly and I were talking a great deal because of some other friends and just things in our lives where with marriage, right? It's something that you renew daily. It's same thing with your faith. It's something that you have to ground yourself with. It's not a one-time, we profess this and everything is good. And so your health is the same exact thing. As you stated, it's not an easy battle, but if you make it a daily commitment, if it's something that you continuously recognize, you acknowledge, and then you seek some type of, improvement, guidance, healing, whatever that may be, then it just makes it manageable. And then you continue to work towards habits. And we all know that all of these things that we're talking about, habits really play, like the pattern plays a huge part in transformation. So,
and surround yourself with people that have the same mindset.
Oh,
I mean, the last 24 hours I have been struggling with, I'm not going down that rabbit hole into depression. I reached out to my sassy sisters and I reached out to a couple friends and I'm like, okay, pray for me.
Mm-hmm.
And they're like, you got this, you got this, you got this. And I mean, they don't let me play small.
Yeah. Accountability, right? Accountability is huge. Yeah.
Absolutely. And you can do it with love. You can lift people up and be honest and be direct and say, listen, you're self-destructing. We're not going here. Come with me. Take my hand. I will walk you through it. And that's the same for the health journey. And that's where I'm at. My ultimate goal is to empower women so strong that they don't need me anymore. I want them to want to be with me. I don't want them to need me.
Oh, I love that. I love that applied to almost all things, right? That's amazing. And the ability to pay that forward, you know, to duplicate that effort and your mission is what an amazing transformation. Wow.
Ooh, what a good show today.
No, I love it. I love it.
A little bit fired up. Just a little.
Right? I mean, so I know
She's not even full 100% today, so
I know, right? So I know we're coming to kind of an end here. What are some last thoughts just on everything? Is there anything that you would want your audience to know immediately? And then obviously, you know, once again, they have the ability to reach out. We'll make sure that your other links and everything are attached, you know, to this interview and this podcast. What are some final thoughts?
If you are not ready to jump in and connect with me directly, you can go to wronganswerbook.com or to my Linktree, either one. And I do free 30-minute empowerment calls. All you have to do is schedule them, talk you through them. There's no obligation. Sometimes that's all you need. And give yourself grace. I mean, God made this body to heal. And all we have to do is fuel it correctly. And also understand that there's things that you are not going to be able to cure, but you can find peace where you are.
Wow. I love that. I absolutely love that. And I am definitely going to take that forward. Tina Starr, any last thoughts? What's that?
I said starting tomorrow.
Ice cream, dairy, the ice cream part. Yes, I am having ice cream.
Are you
today.
going dairy free or ice cream free for 30 days?
Dairy free. Okay. Dairy free. Really, ice cream is probably.
You want to just make sure we keep you accountable, Robert, because you know, coming from a loving place.
Yeah, exactly. You're right. But no, I think I love this idea because we all have good intentions, and so I guess my last thought would really be built around the fact that whenever we're starting any journey in life, you know, there's this assumption that we have all this great intention to go to the gym every day, to eat healthier every day, to work on our own self-development and mindset and alignment. But we put so much weight, and you said that, Christine, a few times, we put so much on ourselves instead of giving ourselves grace, that just knowing that it's okay if it's not every day. It's okay if you can't make that commitment and see it through exactly the way your schedule lines up, but just continuously being aware of it and chipping away at it. And so that's one thing I'm carrying forward no matter what. And it's starting with something simple as, like you said, you know, stop doing something for 30 days and then reintroduce that into your life and see what happens. So
because then you're going to know.
Yeah. I love
it's like donuts. I love old-fashioned donuts. Love that.
I have to go now. I'm sorry. Exactly.
I can't hear you. It's muted.
Well, and here's what I see. I see tremors. I see hot flashes. I see migraines. I see.
Is it worth it? Is it worth eating a donut?
And now I can look at it and go, no.
Christine, a donut is even shaped like O positive. I thought that was. I thought I could have donuts. All right.
Like an O. I can eat.
You know what's really going to happen from this whole call today is that it's really going to be Kelly that reaches out to you first, and she's going to say, "Give me the list of everything Rob cannot have." So
only Robert, not me.
Yeah.
I want to make sure he's okay.
Christine is reminding her that it's one thing at a time, because I already see Kelly in the comments.
I know, but I will say this.
She's in the pantry going, nope.
Yeah, I will say this though. The beautiful thing is, like I said, we're the same blood type, and so we can go on this journey together, without a doubt. So,
Kelly says, I am way better at saying no than Rob is.
She is. She's much more disciplined. So, Star, what are some last thoughts that you may have?
Yeah, I'll be checking out some of your resources. I really like the take on things with our blood types, because I've heard of it but never really thought about it.
Yeah.
And also I noticed that even with my spouse, like there's certain things he's like, we shouldn't be eating that. I'm like, well, I like eating this, or I may not feel the same way they feel.
Yeah.
So I really like the thought of one thing at a time, removing it, because I went vegan for over a year, and I remember just feeling so stressed out looking at everything on the boxes, and we were really trying to, do things the right way and not eat a lot of processed foods. And for me, what worked was like just staying on the outskirt of the grocery store, and I had to do that.
That's what they said. Stay on the outskirt.
But I remember, like, once I start, like when you told Robert, go back for 30 days, right? Once I do something and I try it again, and that's like, oh my God, I miss this. I love it. And
the carnivore diet, I guess, would be good for all of us O people.
Yeah. And it breaks a pattern too. I know that 30 days for anything in life, you're allowed to break certain patterns just by doing that. So I really, really appreciate all the value you've given today. Yeah. I know that many of us are going to dive in even deeper. And I look forward to some future things and having you back on our show and some other collaborative podcasts that we have lined up as well for you. So thank you so much. I look forward to reading your is your book already out? Your book's already out, or is it upcoming? Okay. So I look forward to that as well. And for, again, those that are just listening in or later, because this will all be also transferred onto our podcast, you can go to Christine Lunceford's Linktree. We'll make sure that it's in the body of everything, and then or directly to her website, ChristineLunceford.com, and you can download some free guides and some information and set up that 30-minute.
She has a ton of resources on here.
So yeah,
I mean, just like a ton of them.
And I have some more that I'm working on.
Awesome. So once again, we're coming to a close. Thank you so much for this episode. On the Uncensored Entrepreneurs. Follow, like, and share us all across social media on Facebook /Uncensored Entrepreneurs. Look forward to some many things coming up. And Tina, who is you mentioned we have a special guest next week.
Oh my gosh. One of my really good friends for the last 18, 20 years, Mr. Beach Money himself, Jordan Adler, is going to be on our show next week on Uncensored Entrepreneurs.
I love it.
If you do not know Jordan Adler, Google him and you will know him next week. I
have one of his old books, and I just got he did a new edition. Yep. Yeah, new edition. So look forward to that. So stay tuned. See us next week at 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on Thursday across all social media and podcasts. We appreciate each and every one of you. Until then.